setting in. Let's do this. There's no way it's 60 fucking degrees. There's no way. Yeah, 58 is right. 58 is right. I think this is the high today, 58. I got the windows open. Gorgeous. I'm wearing shorts. I'm gorgeous. Bit rate not that great. Hopefully that will improve. I want to remind everybody to subscribe or resubscribe here on Twitch and also on YouTube. I'm getting a bunch of new followers on YouTube. I'm hoping I get to the point where people are like, you know what? I want to subscribe there too. Ear, my eye itches my ear. I touched my eye and I said my ear. Like when you're a baby and you're like learning. Mommy's like, "What's this?" I'm like, ear. No, you fucking moron! It's an eye. Still haven't gotten that one down. I had a viewer. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Did I frighten you off? Was the eyebrows? There's Tom Duffy. Working on our story right now. I'm also drinking mushroom coffee. So I should take a couple breaks during this. Looking does not have a J in it, apparently. That's weird. If I can get through this, get to the next page on this, I'll be happy. Although obviously I want to write more. I want to finish this chapter today, obviously. Come on. Still have no idea where this headed. What are you talking about? I know exactly where we're going with this. No clue. Absolutely no clue. That's why I'm kind of writing a bridge chapter to get all that group of people together. But we're only on chapter 31, so we still got, a third of this book. We got the last act to go. There's Mr. Frank. Come on. All right. All right. Yeah, no idea where this shit's going. No clue. I do have all the windows open though, so it is gorgeous out. 58 degrees. Although my little weather thing on the bottom has been wrong for weeks. It says Jacksonville. When I pull it up, it'll say 58 degrees. But right now it says 61 degrees. And it's like off, it's never right. There's Sean Call, ladies and gentlemen. Or as I like to call him, King Call. Robert E. Howard. Hero. I don't know if that's what your family was named after. I'm just throwing it out there. Kung Cullen. Yeah, I don't even know what that means, Mr. Frank. Does it have anything to do with Culligan, the water company? Because then I get it. Ugh. It's not for you to understand? Well, then I'm glad, because I don't. There's another Sean Call in the UK who is my nemesis. He takes my usernames on other platforms. I hate him. I hate that guy too. Let's bury him. Here's my problem. My problem is I have a cousin who's also Armando Rosamilia, but he also goes by Armand or Armin. And he does the same fucking thing. So I have a bunch of... there's a bunch of places where I am Armand Author, because that little douchebag keeps stealing stuff. The worst part is I'll get emails for him every now and then. He is he's an official scorer for the AAA for the Yankees in Pennsylvania. So I'll get emails from him, people who want to talk about the Yankees with me. And I'm like, motherfucker, that's my cousin. I'm a Red Sox fan. I never tell him I'm a Red Sox fan because I don't want to keep talking to these people. And he said every now and then he'll get something. He'll get an email that's obviously for me, and he'll forward it along. Because I am armandrosamilia@gmail.com, but he is Armand Rosamilia@gmail.com, something like that. It's like one letter off kind of thing. It's annoying. I guess we're the last Armand Rosamilias left in the family, though. I just realized, because my son is not Armando, and he never had a kid, so it dies here. Unless Shelly and I adopt like a little Vietnamese boy, and we just name him Armando. Who knows? Mr. Frank works in mysterious ways. Yes, he does. If you're smart, you'd use that to sign awful talent to the Yankees farm system. Yeah. You know what? Cashman's doing a great job of it so far. I'll let him keep doing what he's doing so they'll never win another World Series. I don't know. I'm just going to show up at Yankee Stadium and I'll be like, yeah, I'm assistant to the traveling secretary. Armando Zamilia, look me up. I'm on the payroll. Oh, I'm going to need you to change the banking on that, too, while I'm here. It's... I don't know what he held over George Steinbrenner to let him stay that long, but I guess it's something to do with Hank Steinbrenner, right? Because there's no way that dude should still have a job. Plus, he's so boring. Every interview, he just seems so boring. Listen, if you haven't won a World Series in like 25 years or so, maybe it's time for a change. You know? Maybe it's just time to get rid of this guy. I mean, I hope they don't. I hope they keep him for another 20 years and they never win with him. That's my goal. All right, I got to the next page. The guy who thought it was a magnificent idea to pay A-Rod all of the money. There's an A-Rod doc on HBO. I'll watch it when I want to be angry at the world. Man, I remember, I'm sure you remember this too. I remember the Red Sox were gonna sign A-Rod. Remember? Right before Christmas. Next page, Nick Zinn, you little bastard. Next page, Nick Zinn. The Red Sox are going to sign A-Rod, and I was mad. I didn't like the guy. I didn't like him in Seattle. I didn't like him in Texas. Great bat, decent glove. Every interview, he seemed so full of himself. He seemed like such a Miami dickhead. And then when they wouldn't let the Red Sox pull the trade because of money and blah, 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 I'm like, this is ridiculous. And then the Yankees got him, and I was like, oh. Great bat into the playoffs. Yeah, he was a great regular season player. Put up phenomenal numbers. I mean, juice the whole time, an asshole the whole time. But I'm glad he went to the Yankees for that great picture of Varitek putting his glove in his face. So that's still a favorite of mine. Love when I see that one. He became the poster child for why other teams thought the Yankees were assholes. I already knew they were assholes, but I mean before that. So, looking forward to some, I've been reading a lot of the trade rumors, a lot of the different things. I love reading what the Mets are going to do in order to win 89 games again this year and miss the playoffs, How much more money can the Mets spend on players that don't work? Wasn't he the one that chopped down on the first baseman of the Sox to get him to... Yeah, him against Arroyo. And then he would, run... I forget what team it was. He ran across... He was out at first base, and then he ran across to the dugout, and he ran across the pitching mound. Who the fuck does that? You learn that in Little League, not to do that. He was just an arrogant asshole. I can't watch him and Jeter and Big Papi when they have all the playoff coverage. I immediately mute it. Immediately. I don't want to hear any of them talking. And I love Big Papi in small bursts. I liked him when he was playing the game. I'm not a huge fan of listening to him say stupid things in his accent. I don't even really watch Pedro when Pedro's on MLB Network. I don't really watch any of them, be honest with you. The sound is always so low or off. She says, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm watching the game. She's like, the sound's off. I said, yeah. Because then I don't have to listen to these idiots. There's not an announcer that I like that I think adds anything to the game. Because all they do is just talk and talk and talk. And I'm like, I remember old school, growing up in the 70s and the 80s. And the announcers didn't just talk the whole time. They talked about the game in front of us. And she's like, who is this talking? I'm like, John Smoltz. She's like, he talks a lot. I'm like, he's talking about everything but what's going on right here and right now. I said, or he's trying to, he's throwing up stats that they've given him, friggin' 100,000 stats, and he's trying to work every single one of them into the conversation. You know, I understand Big Poppy. Sure, bro, exactly. You need to listen to him say something, and then it takes your brain, a few minutes to go, oh, let me process what he was trying to say. Larry Walker needs to. Larry Walker is delightful. I liked him in that documentary. You know, but it just seems like they only have, I don't know. Like, I can't watch. Who is it? Ron Darling and what's his name? When they do the Met stuff. I can't think of a ball player out there that I enjoy listening to him. Yeah, another Bob Uecker. Bob Uecker was great. Larry David, right? Because Larry David would say the things they're saying, but in a way more cynical way. And at least it would be entertaining. Bob Uecker was entertaining. These guys are just like, let me show you how much of a baseball genius I am. And then all the new, I don't care about velocity spin ratio. Oh, that was 103.7 miles an hour off the bat with a 7.8 torque. You know what? He hit the ball really hard. That's all you needed back in the day. I'm going to tell you who I do not like is that Brian Kenny on MLB Network. God, that guy's just an asshole. This is the little man who's never played the game. Probably not even high school. And he's like, we don't need stolen bases. We don't need this. We don't need that. I'm like, shut up. You know, we don't need you. Velocity spin ratio is the name of my sex tape. And I'm going to tell you, one of my favorite sex tapes ever, Sean. Kudos to you. How shocked are you there's a gambling scandal in baseball? Totally shocking, right? Well, you know what's funny is, you know, the rumor on the street is that Ohtani definitely knew that his translator was gambling with his money. But you're not going to get rid of a guy like that. But a couple of Cleveland Indians, or Guardians, sorry if I've offended anybody. I've offended white people because actual Indians don't even give a shit about that. Yeah, like these guys are... It's crazy, some of the okay, somebody screwed up a pitch. Like, this next pitch is going to be a ball in the dirt, and then you're all going to make $400,000 or whatever it was. And then the dude on the Dodgers swung at that pitch, and it was called the strike, and the gamblers lost like $400,000. That's insane. How much are you making? You know what I'm saying? That league minimum is like $800,000 a year. You're just greedy, greedy bastards. Throw them out of the game. Send them to prison. I'm surprised there's not more gambling problems, especially with the prevalence and how easy it is to gamble, and especially how there's baseball. The commercials for baseball are all about FanDuel and all these sporting things. Oh, there are. Oh, sweet Jesus, there are. Yeah. Everyone knew this was coming when they looked the reins on sports betting. Yeah, I've been a crazy professional athletes are paid more than people in the military who go into actual battle. Not that I'm pro-war or pro-military necessarily, but still, it's amazing that it's amazing military. It's amazing. I mean, doctors make a shit ton of money, but on the average, they make half of what Major League Baseball makes, and teachers make garbage. You know, every year they do the qualifying offer for baseball. So this year it's 22, like $22.7 million. What they do is they take the top, I think it's 102 contracts and what the average yearly average is. So, you know, you're only talking 40-man rosters and 30 teams. So however many people that are, you're taking the top 100 people, and their average is 22, almost $23 million a year each. That's insane. We need author betting. What's the over-under on a baby fighter carrying before page 88 and then has exit? You know what? I will not take that bet. I finally stopped. I got rid of a lot of newsletters, especially horror newsletters. I was not reading their stuff, and I was just wasting time reading their what's coming out kind of thing, which I think is insane. Saturday, I went to a romance writers group that Amanda is part of, and she will be in 2026. She will become the president of it's an old school spinoff of the Romance Writers Association, which is no longer existing, and they've been doing it for many years. And I went to the library, same library. Me and Tom Duffy went and saw Gabino Iglesias last month. There was over a dozen women there, all women. The guy who used to be the president, I guess he just doesn't show up anymore. I guess nobody really likes him. I was the only dude there. But, and then afterwards, me and 5 of them, including Amanda, we went to the Mexican restaurant down the street. The other half of the group went to the Cracker Barrel. Were you able to figure out what women want? Yes. Says I'm halfway there. I have 10 out of 20 subs. So if you haven't subbed, now's the time to sub. Or gift a subscription. All of a sudden I went from 9 to 10 subscribers. Whoever just subscribed, thank you. That was odd. You saw Gabino? Let me see your black eye. No. Tom beat him up. So it was good. Gabino remembered me. So I went to the romance thing, and they had a speaker, and then they had a panel on marketing. And then I went to lunch with 5 of, I guess you can't say broads. You probably shouldn't say that. 5 of the chicks, now 5 of the wonderful women. And when I left there, I'm like, half the time, I didn't even know what the hell they were talking about. Like they were all just lingo. Everything is crazy lingo about writing styles and books and characters and tropes and all this other. I can't even remember some of the shit they were saying. Somebody was like, "Oh, isn't that more like a golden retriever?" And I'm like, "Why are we talking about dogs?" And they're like, "No, golden retriever is whatever. That's more like a German shepherd who wants to protect her." And I'm like, "Oh, they're talking about the male characters as dogs for some reason." But then they switched it to something else, and I was like, I don't know how you're talking about. Just write a damn story. Gabino beat up everyone with bronchitis. Yeah, Gabino had bronchitis, so. Which is weird, because when he first came up to Tom, he gave Tom a big hug and then stuck his tongue down his mouth. And I'm like, that's inappropriate on a lot of different levels. You're assuming their genders en masse. Yeah, there was a woman there that looked like, if you know Douglas Pratt, she looked like Douglas Pratt with a wig on. That's all I'm going to say. Bronchites are intolerable. Yeah, very much so. You take that shit back to Texas. I resubscribed after the commercials. Well, thank you, Nick. I appreciate it. He learned that from Christian Jensen. Every now and then I see a Jensen post. I guess he broke up with that chick he had been dating for a while with the giant knockers. My God, her boobs were big. But he's with some other chick now. I'm sorry, some other woman. I guess he's not writing his great stuff anymore. I didn't watch any docs this weekend. Really? I what did I watch? So Saturday, I went to that romance thing. Hold on, my forehead itches. And then I came home, and my wife had gone to her cousin's baby's 1-year-old party, basically across the street from Tom's attic on Saturday. And then she came home with a shit ton of cupcakes left over and brownies and stuff. And then we watched shows. So we watched Tracker, right, on CBS. And then I make fun of every other show on CBS because it's all FBI and sheriff and firefighters and all kinds of doctors and crap. It's all just old people shows. But then anytime they showed a Paramount Plus show, I was like, well, that seems interesting. And I realized, we only watched the first season of Tulsa King with Stallone. I'm like, you know what? Let's watch a couple episodes of the second season. So we watched 2 episodes. And then I was like, you know what? Let's see what else we can find on here. And then we found Joe Pickett. And I'm like, why does that name sound familiar? I know. And as we watched the first 2 episodes. I'm like, I've read this. It ends up as a CJ box, based on a CJ box. I think they did 2 seasons. There's no new docs to watch except the A-Rod one. But you already know, I'm not watching that either. I saw The Poison and Enough's Enough Guitar meets Science. Yeah, I've not watched any of those in a while. There's a new Expedition Unknown. Which one? I mean, I'm literally watching them as they go live on Wednesday nights. Shit ton of cupcakes was my nickname in home ec. That makes sense. That makes sense. Expedition Unknown, I think it's 2 episodes in for this new season. 3 episodes. 2 or 3 episodes. And then also Expedition Files as well. Yeah, so we watch a couple of Paramount Plus shows, and we'll probably watch a couple more and see what we like. Shelley's not a fan of the guy who's the main the Joe Pickett character. She says he's very boring. I agree. He is kind of boring. Mariana Van Zeller said this was the last season of Traffic. Nobody asked her if she felt bad about it. I thought you were. I watched. So I have like the last 5 or 6 episodes of that taped, And then the other day on Friday night, while Shelly was making cupcakes and all this other crap, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna watch this if you don't mind. She's like, yeah, she's annoying. And it was the one with it was the one, the human trafficking, where they're basically taking the Indians off the res and putting them in for drug addiction, and they're basically just milking for like $10,000 a person a day. And nobody gets treatment. And of course, the guy who's making, I mean, literally making like billions of dollars off this, she's like, don't you feel bad? And you just want somebody to say, you fucking bitch, no, I don't feel bad. Let me have your social security number so I can get $10,000 a day off of you. It's very, I'm like, she's annoying. Van Zeller and Chobot to do a team up, right? Don't you feel bad that you're Bigfoot and people are chasing you? Don't you feel bad, Chupacabra, that you're sucking the blood out of goats? I can see it. We call them guardians now. I see what you did there. I got through the first 2 episodes taken by Bigfoot. So what I've learned is Bigfoot sells women for meth to bikers. Yeah, you don't even have to watch the 3rd episode now. I think it's the 3rd episode where she strips down to her undershirt. Yeah, that was a good time. Her in the crawl space. I'm still on my Peacemaker shit, and now this other show called The Chair Company. That's the name of the show, The Chair Company. That sounds like it has to be very boring if you're naming a show The Chair Company. Or maybe that's the point. Ugh. I made shrimp, mushroom, peppers, green and red, and onion quesadillas for lunch. Lazy Boy documentary, yeah. They subscribe how they came up with the name Lazy Boy. That's the first hour and a half. So you had mushrooms and then mushroom coffee. Uh-oh, yeah. Oh, that you just realized, yeah. Yeah, I put a can of mushrooms in with the dozen shrimp quesadillas. And I mean, I'm almost done. I'm going to finish this mushroom coffee right now. And so far I haven't pooped anything more than normal. How is The Chair Company? Nick, he saw the ad. It's a spinoff of the Electric Company. Then I would watch it. Let's look this shit up. The Chair Company. It's a comedy series. Who's in this shit? Tim Robinson, Lake Bell, Lou Diamond Phillips. Oh, it's an HBO thing. That's why I'm like, I've never even heard of it. HBO. Sugar Company's good, but a bit weird. Are you doing better this week, Armand? I know last week wasn't very good. I am fighting through. You know what? Thank you, Sean. Fuck the rest of you. Thank you, Sean, for worrying about me. I am doing better. So for those who don't know, I might be getting a job if I get a phone call for me to go in and interview for said job. Because somebody told me, hey, I talked to my boss and he said he's going to be calling you in the next couple weeks. That was beginning of last week. Which put me into a depressive tailspin. Because I don't want to work. I don't want to leave the house. I don't want a part-time job. But realistically, the money is not flowing like it used to. And I'm just, the economy is shit. And we are getting further and further behind in credit card debt. And so, basically, the wife and I came to the decision that it's not fair for her to go get a second job. And she doesn't have the time anyway with her mom and everything else. A job like Fred Durst. So, but I asked, and the Wendy's, they don't have another spot in the drive-thru because Fred's there all the time. He knows muscle. He didn't look as big as he looks online. He's still big, but I mean. So there's the thing. So the problem with it is that I would probably then, talking to my friend, he said, the only thing is they're hiring, it's a security job, basically. So I don't have to deal with people. I drive around in my car all day or all night, whatever, check some locks, that kind of thing. Make sure there's no people that look like Frank Edler hanging around in the parking lots, that kind of thing. But I would more than likely have to work Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. I don't care about New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. But not being here for Thanksgiving would totally suck. And so I'm hoping if he does contact me, it's not till like maybe the end of this week. And then I can schedule for like the end of the following week to interview and then maybe get through, and I can, there's no problem with Thanksgiving. Now, if this is an under the table job, or this is money's not good, or I don't even know what good money is these days. And it's got to be part time. I'm not doing 40 hours a week. I'm going to do give me 20 hours a week. Give me 3 half days or something. And so if I do it, then that will obviously change Twitch and YouTube and all the other stuff that I'm doing. Maybe. I mean, unless I get a permanent schedule and I'm not all over the place. So that was very depressing that I have to go back after 14 years of doing this and earning a living, earning enough that I didn't have to go back. Now it's kind of the ceiling has collapsed on all of this. So I'm working on stuff. I'm building up the YouTube. I'm over. I think I have 400 followers now. I had 355 a week ago. So I'm building it up. I did a video yesterday, following the rules of a couple of these gurus, and so far I've gotten some likes on it, which is good. And I did that Jordan Harper review, and I've gotten a couple hundred likes on that one. I've gotten a lot of people from that one, so I'm going to do some more videos. I'm also going to do my interview one, so I'm trying to build up the YouTube, because basically, if I can make $1,000 a month extra, then I guess I'll be happy. And what are you making now these days? $15 an hour? Is that what they're doing? So $1,000 divided by 15 That's 66.6 hours. So we're going to call it 67 divided by 4. So yeah, if I work like 17 hours a week, then I could hit that. 20 hours a week. I might know where to get some shelves in the cheap if you want to try to open a bookstore. I'm good. So anyway, so that's kind of where I am. So thank you, Sean, and nobody else, for asking how I'm doing. Obviously, I know nothing about your sales, but what about writing something in a different to-market genre, like Cozy Mystery or something? You're prolific enough, you could pump out one a month. But obviously, that takes time, and a part-time job would earn faster, extra money. Yeah, that's the problem. Well, you don't know. There's no steady money. So I get, my Amazon money can be anywhere, depending on if somebody saw something they liked, if there's a sale, if something, whatever. So I might make a couple $1,000s off of Amazon, and then it's all every quarter, like, Severed Press is like, hey, here's, but it's like, here's your sales, and here's $45 for 3 months of sales on 11 books, Whereas I used to make, I don't know, $400, $500, $600 a month on them with less books. So their money is down. I'm making nickel and dimes here and everything else. I know you're doing crappy. Why ask and remind you the way insensitive Sean did? Yeah, you're so New Jersey, Frank. You're so New Jersey. So yeah. So that's kind of where I am right now. I'm writing a post-apocalyptic romance with another author right now, and we're actually about, I don't know, 40. Yeah, we got like maybe, I don't know, 8 chapters left in it or something, and we're done. They're longer chapters. My co-author did the romance stuff mostly. I did the post-apoc stuff mostly. And our goal is to come up with a pen name and release it and see what happens. So we'll see what happens. But again, it's not steady money. And in order to pay down the credit card debt and everything, listen, the lights aren't getting shut off. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to miss a house payment. We're not in that. We're in like $40,000 credit card debt, and that's including my card that I use for business stuff. So I'm spending more the last few years than I'm making, which is not good. I was hoping to do a telethon. You know what? Maybe we can do a telethon. A telethon too, so I can have some money. Ginger ale. Delicious. So that's where we are now. But if this guy doesn't call, or if it doesn't sound like it's on the up and up, then I've gotten a reprieve until January. Get through the holidays, and then look for a job. So it gives me a couple of months to have some magic happen here. Like I get my 1,000 subscribers on YouTube at that point, and start making some money on there. I can be Jerry Lewis, and he can be the little kid with the struggles. You're gonna get some great stories doing security. There's that. Yeah. I'm hoping it's one of these because, like, see, my wife doesn't have any properties here anymore. When she did, like two of the buildings that she managed, they had overnight security. And every hour you had to go and walk the perimeter, and like every 2 or 3 hours you had to go outside and drive around the parking lot kind of thing. But otherwise you sat at the desk, and they had a computer there, and the guy would bring a couple of books. In fact, one of the security guards that was there before he passed away would read all of my books. I would bring him, Shelley would bring him books, and he loved the Dirty Deeds series. So technically I could bring my laptop with me, set it up, and I can still work and I could still read if I was doing an overnight. But then during the day, I would just be friggin' be asleep. And then I'd be kung fu battling homeless people in Jacksonville. So there's that too. Again, hone my killer skills. I firmly believe, and there's no basis for reality here, that I will not have to get a job because something will magically pop. God will finally look down upon me and go, you know what? Let's keep this guy living his dream. That sounds like an optimal situation, all things considered. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. So I had like 2-3 really bad days last week, and weekend was not great. Thinking about it, but it's a little bit better until this guy calls. Like I'm still making plans, like that writer / filmmaker dude that I hung out with. He called. He's like, "Hey, are you free next Thursday for lunch?" And I'm like, "You know what? I am. Let's do this." So my birthday comes up on the 21st on a Friday, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go hang out with Wynn and Andrea, and Shelly's gonna come with me. We're gonna go to the donut place in the morning, and then we're gonna go up to about an hour north into Georgia, and we're going to go to the turtle pond. Feed the turtles. That's what I'm going to do on my birthday. So there you go. Time to revisit zombies. They did not want it to be zombies. They wanted to be zombie bees, which is just stupid. So I also have, me and Tom are working, I should be working right now, on the 5th book, on the 2nd book of this trilogy. We finished another trilogy, which will be out starting in mid-January. And then this book and the next book hopefully will be done by the end of this year. And so we'll have 6 book releases and 2 box sets of those for next year. So all that money's still sitting, yeah, it really is. And then I have the Dying Days sequel and the Dying Days prequel. Both finished. So they will be out at some point next year. In another couple weeks, I'm going to do my, I think my 5th, 6th year I'm doing a short story collection. Chuck Buda did the forward to it, this one. So that will be out. That never sells anything. So it's all of that. I still love ginger ale, though, no matter what happens. No matter what happens. You hurt my feelings, Frank, Sean says. Chuck took time off from cowboy cosplaying to write the forward. Hey, whatever to Alex. He's still not writing. Yeah, I called Chuck. I'm like, can you do this? Can you do this by the weekend? He said, yeah. And then it took him an extra week. But he got it done. Hey, whatever happened to Alex? He's still not writing. Yeah, he did a couple of book signings in Iowa. And I think he's working on the next zombie novella. But he's not doing much of anything. And also, I guess he's got to look for a job now. Because his year is over. That his wife gave him a year to get the writing thing going. Or he'd have to go out and get a job. And guess what? He didn't do shit. He read a lot of books this year. He read a ton of books this year. He just didn't do a lot of writing. So he loves saying he's a writer rather than actually doing the writing. They may have been hit by snow. For the last 12 months, they were hit by snow. You know what? If you're hit by snow, stay inside the house and write. Maybe Alex was busting shoveling. Yeah, that could be it. Frank does that from time to time. Where else was it snowing? I think in Ohio it was snowing. A lot of places snowing. Wasn't there a game we were... Sunday, I was watching a game. Was it the Giants game? What is it? I don't remember. There was some game it was snowing. I just watch like the NFL network and they just do like... They just go from game to game. Because the Raiders had already lost on Thursday night. It's snowing in Eastern Canada. Glad I don't live there anymore. Yeah, screw Eastern Canada. Got to do like my old man always told me. Walk it off, Dick. Yeah, your old man. Words of wisdom as usual. I was very happy. I was mad. I was like, oh, fucking Jaguars are going to win this game. And then they got clobbered in the second half. I was so happy. And of course, a couple of morons already from Jacksonville today talking about, well, you know, we still got a great shot for the playoffs. Really, we only have the Colts in front of us. Shut up. Even if you make the playoffs, you ain't gonna win. You ain't gonna win with that stupid quarterback. You got like 3 good players on that team. Awful. Sorry. I gotta finish this chapter, but you know what? I think I'm feeling the mushroom, all the various mushrooms in my body are all starting to fungonate. 8-8. I told young Mike, I'm like, listen, if they win 8 games, I will be surprised. He's like, what are you talking about? This is a 10 win season. I'm like, no, it's not. You're playing against easy. Your schedule is so easy because you're such a shitty team. You still can't do it. I'm incensed by the Giants color scheme. Yeah, it's yeah. They're not very intimidating on any level. I'm like, that team is so bad. They have a home game in freaking England, and it's the only game they sell out the whole year. That's pretty sad. You only have 7 home games, or maybe 8, and you can't sell them out. Just ridiculous. More ginger ale. Refreshing. Ginger ale is just refreshing. All right. I want everybody to remember to subscribe or resubscribe, and I want you to follow YouTube. Not only follow it, watch a couple of videos. Only a flamboyant interior designer can pronounce the names of their colors. Toupee is one. Taupe is one, I'm sure. One more thing, Armand. Go, Sean. Go. You're the only one that cares about me. Ask away, my friend. My one true friend. I liked your How I Write 400K a Year video. Can't wait for more similar videos. Thank you, Sean. You know what? That video has gotten me some success. You will see more of those. You will see another. I'm going to do a video about the Mondo method. I'm probably going to do a video about my daily routine. Mr. Frank says, I liked your coffee video. Always supportive. Always supportive. One of the specific one of the 10,000 coffee videos, or just in general? Yeah, that one's getting me some followers so far. The How I Rate 400K a Year. I watched one of these gurus who was like, this is what you need to do. And then I did it. And then it seems to be working. So I'm going to continue to do it. So, but right now I'm going to go to the bathroom and I'm going to do that. Because, yeah. That one you did with the coffee and the weather and your socks and stuff. Oh, yeah, the sock one. Yeah. That one. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, everybody, thank you. I will probably not be on tomorrow. If I am, it'll be on YouTube Live. On Sunday. Right, the Sunday ones. Shut up, man. See you later. Thank you, Sean. Thank you to no one else. I'll see everybody here Wednesday, though. We'll do this. We'll hang out on Wednesday, all right? All right.